Welcome to Content Breaker. He's Kai, I'm Kelz. We're joined by Babel4 Zog, strangely entertaining, and of course, the illustrious Craig. Today we're talking about... I love Craig. Today we're talking about the Disney movie Encanto. Gentlemen, how are y'all?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
You know,
Hell
He
it's
lies.
all right.
yeah.
He lied. He's feeling the pressure. On the surface, he's fine.
On the surface, yeah.
Drip, drip, drip.
Hard exterior.
So let's talk about this movie. Encanto is a film from, I presume, off the top of my dome, 2021.
Yes,
Came
that
out.
would be correct.
It feels like fall or winter of 2021. And it has been going around the internet as a big banger. So the basic plot is we have a family in Colombia that is on the run from presumably either conquistadors or white settlers, or I don't know,
They kept it purposefully dark.
people who are not fun, people on horses who want to ruin your day and your entire existence.
Sounds like those people.
And we have an Encanto, the film, that is about the life and the wondrous village that has been built out of a miracle that has come from a tragic sacrifice. And we tell that story about perfection and expectations, about family and true drive and relationships, and coming to terms with kind of who you are and how you fit into the familial realm and all of that kind of relationship drama.
I agree. Yeah.
It with the music and everything, it's a nice little fun ride, but yeah, you feel the drama building as it goes up and until that little blow up at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's very, it's one of those things where it's as time goes on and society goes on, there become new terms and new things. Like, back when we were kids, there was Lion King to help us deal with like finding who we are and who we want to be. And then the other generation had Kung Fu Panda, where it's like accepting your own skin and fighting your own way. And now we're at the point where it's like the familiar pressure. Like, this is something that kids now need to like understand and know that like sometimes your own family can put pressures on you and you don't have to just like accept those. You can, it's like as things happen in the world and times change, like cartoons and movies centered towards kids reflect them. And I feel like Encanto did a really good job of reflecting on something that's like kind of new with anxiety in kids and like, just real stuff that's happening. And of course, Disney's going to dress it up and make it look cute. But at the end of the day, you like strip it down and you're like, wow, there's some psychologically dark things going on right here.
Yeah, definitely. I was like, oh, okay, all right.
As someone with 7 other siblings and an illustrious family, how do there's no two way about it. Full respect about the parents. How does this kind of story vibe about being a kid in this family with such like great successful people really hit home about your you and like your kind of vibe?
It's very like it hits home because there's a lot of truths in it. There's a lot of like behind the scene conversations of like keep the family's name clear, what you do. Like when I was younger, and I'm sure my mom is somewhere hating me saying this on the internet, whatever you do doesn't just reflect you, it reflects the family. That was said a lot. Like it's part of the reason why I have the mannerisms I do in public. Like everybody who knows me, they're like, "Oh, Static, you always wildin' when it's just us, but whenever we go out, you're like always super respectful." And I was like, "That's because whatever you do out in the public, you're not representing just yourself. You're representing your namesake and your family." So, like the things that Abuelo said, I had heard before, and never. And I think it did a great job of encapsulating that these things aren't said harmfully. Like, they just can be harmful. Like, this is not something that is said with malicious intent. Like what happened with Umbrella at the end, I lost the way, not you all. And that's, something that when you have that success, when you have that name you gotta live up to, and when you have other people who are doing great things, you kind of lose yourself. And like Mirabelle, not Mirabelle, Mirabelle,
Oh.
you want to prove yourself. Like if you don't, others have something that you don't, you want to prove yourself, and sometimes you end up like overshooting, and just things fall into chaos. But I was like really shocked to see that Disney did this one really accurately. I was like, wow. And to say that I didn't empathize with some stuff would be a lie. So, it's very real. And just stuff coming from your siblings, like the oldest sibling, the flower chick, Isabella. Yeah,
Yep.
Isabella.
Isabella.
Like, I've felt like I had a little bit of an Isabella, Mirabelle relationship going on with my family for a little bit. And just like that, at the end, we're like, yo, this is stressing me out. Like, be who you want to be because you're perfect, So, but no, they did a really good job coming from someone who has, the 7 siblings and family clout, I guess the word, and all that stuff. So, yeah, it's definitely very much so realistic. And kudos to Disney and Pixar. This isn't a Pixar film, is it?
No, it's
No,
just
just
Disney.
Disney.
Yeah, just Disney. Like, shout out for them for doing this, and Lin-Manuel Miranda. Like, that song, Surface Pressure, man. That's all I'm saying. That song
Oh, hell yeah.
that song hit.
I heard it on the radio. I guess it was on the radio or
Well, now it's ruined.
on the no on the phone. Sorry, going through
On the
it's the MP3 player. So, anyways,
Okay.
in the car and just listening to it, I'm like,
On my
yo, this song
iPod
hits
Classic
different.
in 2004.
Pretty much.
My iPod Mini 2.
That came on right after Thanks for the Memories by Fall Out Boy. Right before Hey Ya by Out.
Oh my god.
Man, so let's talk about this right quick. How do y'all feel about like the Disney Pixar differentiation? Like Disney is no longer doing like 2D animated feature films. Like
Yeah, that's what throws
everything
me off.
they're doing is 3D, which used to be the domain of Pixar, right? That was Pixar's bread and butter. But now that's moved into like name brand Disney. What do y'all feel about like that differentiation? Like, is there any? Do you think Pixar will put out anything specific other than like Toy Story? How do y'all
It's-
feel about that?
It's mad confusing because, like I said, I thought this and Moana were Pixar's because they were such beautifully animated 3D stuff that I thought it had the Pixar name on it. But, I really wonder what becomes Pixar's purpose, besides doing their own properties that they have. Because if Disney can now do the 3D stuff as well, I think Lightyear is still a Pixar film that's coming out, correct?
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, it is.
But other than that, I don't really know of anything else. Well, is that Red Panda? Is that one Pixar as well?
No,
or is
that's
that
just Disney.
Okay.
I think it is
Turning
Pixar,
Red?
actually.
Yeah, Turning Red,
I
yeah.
think it's Pixar.
I believe it's Pixar, but
I
I
think
don't
it
know
is.
for sure.
We can look it up.
Typically with Pixar, they'll come out with one movie at a time,
Yeah.
a few years apart, but they will sometimes come out with
Yep.
multiple all at once.
It's Pixar.
So it
Yeah,
all
Turning
depends.
Red is Pixar?
Yep.
Okay, so we got 2 this year. But the last one I remember before that was like, honestly, wasn't Big Hero 6 Pixar? I think that's
No.
the last one.
No,
it
was
wasn't?
Disney.
Okay.
Big Hero 6 was just Disney.
I don't
It was the
remember
first.
what
It was the
last
first
Pixar-
superhero
Soul.
movie Disney did that wasn't
Soul was
Marvel.
the last Pixar thing that came out. Like,
So was Pixar. Okay. See,
Yep.
to answer your question, Kelz, I'm confused as fuck.
so
I
literally,
don't know what goes anywhere.
Dainta's brother, my brother-in-law, was also, he kept getting it mixed up
I get
all
it,
day
you're married.
long. I'm just saying, he kept
You're
getting
happy.
Oh
Sorry,
my
Dave.
He
god!
kept getting it mixed up all day long. Dainta was about to be like, if you say that it's a Pixar film one more time.
I was
She was even
Encanto?
I was
Yeah.
supposed to know.
Well, don't tell her I thought this
They're all
was
under
Pixar.
Disney
I don't want
anyway.
her to
It's all
fight me.
Disney. Who the fuck cares anymore?
I fear her.
I mean,
so.
I think
mean-
when Disney bought Pixar, and they definitely probably work a lot closer now than they have been, especially utilizing their technology. I'm pretty sure they're either going to just continue to use Pixar as like a namesake until eventually we'll just see Pixar kind of disappear into the massive conglomerate that is Disney.
Well, Pixar
Or-
still has their own
But
studio.
that-
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead,
Kind
Kelz.
of already happened.
No, I think that maybe Pixar will be a studio or a studio name that is used for these kind of like offshoot avant-garde like variety. Like you put out a movie like Encanto, you put out a movie like Frozen, and you know it's gonna sell. Like you know you've got an audience, and you know you're gonna like meet that audience's expectations, and it's gonna sell. Where like Pixar may turn into a studio name that is associated with kind of like the adventurous, the risk taking,
The experimental.
exactly, stuff like Soul, where they know they're reaching out to an audience and a demographic about real stuff. Like it's still the excellency of animation and storytelling, but it's like the question comes for business wise, is this going to be profitable? Is it gonna meet our expectations number wise? So maybe that might be where Pixar goes in terms of as a studio and a brand.
Yeah,
And-
my one question to that would be, can y'all think of any movie that is just Pixar, not Disney and Pixar branded, just Pixar?
Well, if we take a look back at
'Cause
the
I
90s, when they used to do short films and not full-long videos, yes. Technically, that is them being separate, but then they partnered with Disney.
The light bulb.
But do you know of any of those short films?
Actually,
Light
I
bulb.
do. I do. There's a whole list of them, and I want to tell you why. Because my brother, he has autism, so he religiously watches certain things. The Pixar Collection is one of those things where they show all their short films, starting with like the sad clown with the unicycle that's like sentient somehow, the ball, and the lamp thing.
Yeah,
Yep,
the
there
Luxo
was-
ball and all that. Yeah,
Wall-E
they always
Bee. Wall-E Bee
they
was-
always wanted to show those off during the feature films and whatever. They would play them either before or afterwards, but it always went with a feature Disney and Pixar film.
Yes.
So that's the only way it was going to be shown, is with that extra branding from Disney. And I can't think of a actual movie that's just under Pixar's name.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like Toy Story, the first Toy Story is the only first like Pixar movie I know of, and immediately that's Disney. That's a Disney property.
Yeah.
So
As soon as they
whether
bought Pixar,
Well,
they
Bug's
took
Life,
off.
but that's also,
Disney. Yep.
was okay, yeah. I'm thinking ants. I'm like,
Uh,
was what,
That's
excuse
a
me?
whole entire side story. To
That's
like,
the
talk about
reason we got
ants.
DreamWorks in the first place.
Yeah, pretty much.
wasn't Bug's Life like particularly just Pixar? And Disney
I
just-
don't think so.
I think it's
Because
in
was it Katzenberg?
Probably.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Sounds
He
familiar.
originally worked for Disney, but because of a dispute, he took his idea, which is what they used to turn into A Bug's Life, and founded DreamWorks. And the first thing he made with that was ants.
which was Nightmare Fuel.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
but
yeah.
today, after all
I was gonna
this
say.
conversation about where does Pixar live? Pixar lives in
Orlando.
a hall of in Orlando, yes.
In Orlando.
and Los Angeles, and Anaheim, California. But it at this point in time, the 3D animation is blending, which is what leaves us with movies like Encanto. So let's talk about Encanto. So first off, one of the things that really struck me about the very intention of this film was the kind of representation of the variety of Latinos. This is set in Colombia, right? Presumably, that's
Yes.
what the main theme says. So
I
this
mean,
is
it's
set
kinda
in
written-
Colombia, South America, and the variety of Latinos, and that term is based on the fact that is coming from Latin America, and Latin America is based on fucking Spain. So you have Afro Latinos, you have you have indigenous folks, you have you have the Hispanic folks, and every skin tone and variety is kind of represented in this story that is very much just a family, and it's wild it's wild to see and exciting to see the kind of casualness that this is presented to you, like, because that's how it's supposed to be. It's just supposed to be these people living their lives, experiencing who they are. It's not supposed to be about the color, but definitely recognizing the variety is important for a story like this.
Yeah.
Everybody
100%.
looked different, but nobody give a shit.
Exactly.
I did notice that as well. I was like, oh wow, like I like the variety here already, and we're in Colombia. That's also a very different setting than what we're used to. I like it. It's beautiful. Let's do it.
And they incorporated the animals too. I like that.
Mhm.
Like with Home Dude's gift. We saw the jaguars, which were indigenous. We saw the toucans, the like raccoons, and the capybara. So I was like, cool, cool. We
That
are very-
capybara did not give a single. He said, "I'm here. I'm sitting. This is where I'm sitting. I don't even care if there's a dust storm around me. Let's go."
Man,
Not
forget
moving.
your magic circle, man. Draw that magic circle around me.
Yeah.
Magic circle. Oh my god, I love that so much.
So I am tired.
But definitely, representation and being able to see you in media is so crucial, and as it and the tragic thing is, it becomes profitable, right? It becomes profitable to show the variety of people, which in my opinion doesn't need to be where that comes from. It doesn't need to come from, can I make money from this? It needs to come from a very, very
Sincere place, not commercialized.
sincere. It needs to come from a very ethical place. But you convince the businesses that it makes you money, they're gonna start doing it. And at this point in time, I don't know if I can fault them for it, because there is that kind of representation visually, which is so important.
And the dope thing that I saw on the Twitter, on social media, and I don't get on TikTok, but I know that it was very prevalent on TikTok. There were a lot of kids who saw this movie, and like there were freeze frames of these kids next to these characters, and like, yo, this looks like me. There was a little black kid who, saw the youngest member who could talk to animals and stuff, and there was a freeze frame with him with a little afro and everything. And then there was a person who looked like baby Mirabelle. Or Mirabelle, and it's just like a lot of different representation, and that's important. And it is important because people have something they can relate to and be with. Like, one of the main reasons I probably messed with Static Shock so much is 'cause growing up, there was the Justice League, there was all this, but like I identify with Static Shock. And then the funny part was it was so deep. Like, shout out to Wayne McDuffie, the GOAT. Like, when I was growing up, I was a black kid, but my best friend was white. So, and then Richie, here I am. I'm like, yo, I feel like you got people on both sides being like, why are they friends? I'm like, shit, you never seen Static Shock. Hate it for you, bruh. Like, so that stuff is like super important. And I remember like even with like Camp Laszlo, I had a friend who was in the Scouts, and he's like, everybody thinks we're a bunch of weirdos. And then like Camp Laszlo came out and it's like, yeah, now everybody thinks scouting is cool and all that. And I was like, yeah, still hate Camp Laszlo, but I'm happy for you.
Oh, I was about to say you still hate it. I never thought we'd bring up Camp Laszlo again in the podcast.
I'm in full circle, man. We can't say step up energy anymore, so we have to do something.
I mean, you could do whatever you want. Doesn't mean I won't push
I'm not
back.
putting that in this movie. There was
I mean, it was.
I mean,
clear.
all I'm saying is, she threw a boulder up in the air and didn't even flinch when it came back down, and it broke around her.
All I'm
If that's
saying
not
is
something
Diamonds
with
and
that.
platinum. I'll flatten them.
Abuela, though.
Oh,
Hey, Abuela?
fine wine.
Abuela?
there's a reason. There's a reason she runs the show.
Mhm.
Also, I remember the time when Disney would not. Alcohol was a huge ban. Now they're like, yeah, we got good alcohol, we got wine, all this. I was like,
That
everyone's
that
giving
threw
them
me
like,
for a
here.
loop.
Yeah.
That threw me for a loop. It's like, bring the
was like-
drinks. I was like, bring the what?
I was like, is this the first time? She's like, I'm pretty sure Obella said we have good alcohol. Like, I was like, yo, like, Disney.
Well, I think she might have been like. Are we talking about the dinner where she was trying to get the engagement? Or are we talking about?
No, we're
like-
talking about when Mirabelle was
Museum.
like, the house is breaking.
Oh yeah, she was like, okay, a little too much of the good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
A little too much
Right.
of the good drink.
All right, let's get into this. All right, boys. So the movie is about a family, the family Madrigal.
Got a whole song
And-
about it and everything.
Yep,
Whole
entire
song
song.
about it. We got our main character, our typical Shonen, our main character, Mirabelle Madrigal, who doesn't have a power in a family who is based on a miracle that happened when Abuela was running from the random villains that we don't really see much of. When they were running from the villains and we lost Abuela, magic happened, a miracle happened, this candle burned forever, and each individual child of this family Madrigal gained magical powers
To a door.
at the age of like 7-ish.
Yeah,
It
7,
would
5,
die.
something like that. And mountains rose up around the village of the house of the place, and that was
The
crazy.
village is in the mountains, so
Yes. Well, no.
Yeah.
The mountains popped up. I saw that. There was a big.
I mean, it's Colombia, so don't worry about the mountains. The mountains are there.
No, but I mean,
The
I'm
mountains.
just saying the mountains will, whoop, and they're like, oh, there's the mountains. It's the
The
Earthbenders.
mountains. Yeah, okay. The Earthbender showed up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Solved all of our problems.
Yo,
Kept-
she was like, this is my island. Yep.
Abuela Kiyoshi confirmed.
All I'm
Boy.
saying is Colombia is attached to South America hardcore. But anyways, definitely it was this oasis in the perils of South America. That was protected. This is the small village that was in this kind of paradise, and each individual child of the Madrigal family gained magic, except for our main character, Mirabelle. Mirabelle rolled up on that door on her birthday and was like, "My door disappeared, Grandma," and
Like,
and
where'd my
Abuela was
door go?
like, "Oh shit! I've never seen this ever. We're gonna just kind of like mind our business and keep it rolling."
it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. We got a cursed child.
Yeah, that's setting up such a psychological downfall.
That was, and that's. So, when did this psychological trauma happen? Well, it all started when
was a
my
door.
abuela saw my door disappear. That was my room. It's like, all right,
Well,
chalking it up to insane. It's crazy.
all right. So let's talk some characters right now. The family Madrigal. We've got plenty of folks. We have folks like Abuela,
Mm-hmm.
who is power like magicalist, but like the matriarch.
You got the candle.
Yeah, she got a
Exactly.
candle.
The matriarch of the entire family. We've got her 3 children, Bruno, who we do not talk about.
We don't talk about Bruno.
Mirabelle's mother, who has a very important name I cannot remember right now based on this list. I think it's Giulietta. Giulietta Mirabelle is
Yeah,
married-
Giulietta Madrigal and
Well-
Agustin Madrigal. Yeah.
Boom. She can heal via like the food she makes, which is wonderful.
It's pretty.
She
She'd be the worst
overpowered,
cook
though.
ever. They're gonna tell her it's great just because it fixes their bones.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, that's delicious.
Along with Peppa, Peppa Madrigal, who has control of the weather. You know,
He is
those are-
Storm.
Those are the triplets that we see fleeing in the flashback.
Bruno, Giulietta, and
Yep.
Peppa the pig.
Oh.
That's rude.
That's rude.
Sorry, I meant Peppa. Madrigal.
Hero.
She's gonna come with a whole hurricane after you.
Listen, man.
Oh, she
wouldn't
got
be the
married
first
in one. She's clearly okay with him.
Too late,
Um,
bro.
Lord. But then, it's not really. Is the age of the cousin said? Like, is Isabella the first?
No. There wasn't really.
Isabella is the oldest of Mirabelle's group, with Luisa being the second and Mirabelle being the youngest.
Yeah. And then
I
you've
think that's
got
about all we know, really. And then I guess the
Well,
the one with the
The other
hearing
three were
Dolores is the oldest
um,
cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it goes Dolores, Camilo, and Antonio. So
Yes.
So
yeah.
it's a very broad family, and everyone
Yeah.
can do really cool shit, like listen to anything that's even whispered, or like transform into whatever like shape person they want to be.
We got a Mystique. We got a
Fucking-
Storm. It's a family X-Men.
Oh no!
Talk to animals, like I
Dr.
don't know.
Doolittle in the house.
there's a power that's be perfect, like fucking grow
Flowers.
flowers,
Yeah, there you
and
go.
be perfect, like. It's a whole
Yeah.
deal, except for our main character, who has none of this. She has glasses, she has passion, and she has no magical power. This poor girl.
You can talk to the
Yeah.
house though. So
Everyone can talk.
Well,
to the
everyone
house.
can talk to the house. The house is alive. It's
I mean,
just she's the one person who probably has the best relationship with
yeah,
the
she has
house.
the most affinity with the house, more so than her family. That's what
I
the
mean,
wiki said.
what else you
anyway.
gonna do when all your family kind of ignores you because you don't have powers? So just stuck at home all day.
Now you just move out.
She tried.
It's our rebellion. Yeah, she could have became a villain, so she didn't. So
I've come back.
All right, I want a conspiracy theory, y'all.
All
real
right.
quick. This has absolutely nothing to do with Santa Muerte. This is something I'm not versed in. I don't know anything about it. This is not that. Feel me? In
Okay.
association, this ain't that. But all I'm saying is this miracle and his family magic is blood magic. We sacrifice grandpa. We sacrifice the abuelo to the river to save our family. And
Either
his
you gotta take him by the
sacrifice-
river or the people.
his sacrifice, his blood in the river, thus created the family Madrigal magic that then, boom, all of his and Abuela's descendants then gained. Except for Mirabelle. We ain't gonna talk about that. I don't know why she fell off. Whatever.
It was a
I like this
stipulation.
theory mostly because since the candle came up right after Abuelo disappeared, he did. He did.
Yeah, that was.
I always thought he was the candle. Like his soul lingered, and that was the fire that lit the candle, and that's why you got the miracle.
There are candles made from humans. That certainly does exist, especially in blood magic. Not even joking. That is a thing.
So we
how
got
do you
Strange
know
on
that?
board. Come on, Static.
nah, nope, nah, I don't fuck with this. I don't fuck with this podcast. Like we are out. Like my people come
Party
from the
pooper.
Caribbean. We know about voodoo. That's very real, and I am not messing with it. So
Colombia, I don't think that's far from the Caribbean. It's in that area.
I mean, no. Very
Let's-
technically,
very
that
technically, no.
shit's
But
over
like,
here.
it's like
here's the
you could
planet.
take a
anywhere
boat.
close.
You could leave
Here's the
Colombia.
hemispheres.
The state of Florida
Hold
is
on.
closer to the Caribbean.
Let's
Yeah.
look
And
it up.
Colombia down.
I don't
here.
need to.
Let's
like-
look up geography.
Do it,
Sure.
motherfucker. It's not anywhere
it's
close.
not near.
It's on the coast of the Gulf of Mexico.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Gulf of
But
Mexico.
no, it is not close. Very technically, it's a
Anyways.
cross. It's a
Oh, anyways,
cross.
you wrong. You wrong.
No, look, it's not that far. There's like a tippy tip of.
Not that
There
far.
is.
Motherfucker, did you measure that? Did you like directions?
How many
Y'all-
miles? How many miles?
y'all gonna hate me. Look, Colombia is connected to the Caribbean Sea, and when I last checked, Caribbean Sea, Jamaica's like right there.
How,
Look, you mother.
how far? Here, I got you. I got my phone right here. We'll look it up.
Go on,
Look it up.
I'll take a
Do it.
screenshot of
Do it.
everything.
How
I'm
many
gonna Google this too.
miles is Colombia from?
I like how this is a whole thing that we're doing right.
All right, all I'm saying is you sitting here telling me that Colombia is close.
It's right. It's like next to Panama.
1,203 miles.
Okay.
It's like 18 hours. Drive.
Look at a map, though. What I'm saying
looking
is,
at it. I'm
okay.
looking at it. I know how everybody got here, supposedly. Depends on what Caribbean.
Yeah, that's from
you're
Cuba.
speaking
So
of, right?
let me type in
Depends-
where my people come from. It's strange as being.
closer to Colombia than Cuba. That's all I'm saying.
yeah.
But,
No, it is Jamaica's closer.
Let's keep. I
There
mean,
it is.
that's not close though. Like Cuba's like 98 miles off the coast of Florida, but we'll keep it
I
moving.
mean, it's like
boys.
1,000 miles to Texas.
keep-
But anyways,
Let's keep it moving, boys. Encanto.
Jesus Christ.
Encanto,
Encanto is a very exciting movie that is totally not based on blood magic. About
Totally
a
is.
family that has abilities, except for a main character who doesn't have any. That goes on an adventure to save the family from mortal turmoil, like
An
the
adventure
house
that
falling
takes-
apart.
place in the house. It's-
What do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel about the adventure like taking place in just like kind of the house and
I thought it was dope.
the area?
diverse
I thought
house.
Yeah, I thought it was super dope because when I saw the trailers and everything, I thought it was gonna be this whole like adventure and everything. But the fact that spoilers, the fact that Bruno was in the house the whole time.
Hey, we don't talk about him.
No, we don't
The
talk about
calls coming from inside the house.
And the fact that the rats had an illustrious leader inside the house the whole time, who happened to possibly be someone close to the story, was kind of crazy. Like, and
Like,
that this person was living literally just in between the walls was on some real Harry Potter, stepchild stuff.
Yeah, that
So-
was and like when
Bruno chose
is
that.
it Luisa when she said the rats talk in the walls. I was
That
like,
was
oh.
Dolores.
Dolores. Sorry, see, I can't keep track of them all. And then I really like the scene where the rat is running away with the piece of like the future mirror slab or whatever you
glass.
call it.
Yeah.
The glass. Thank you.
The vision.
And then like it just stops.
It's a literal
and then
vision
you just
board.
see the glowing piece of glass just float up, and then the flash happens. I was like, yo, that was cool. That was a cool way to introduce Bruno.
Yeah, and my heart broke when Bruno had his own wall plate that was wood,
That was
and he had.
sad.
And I was like,
Man.
No.
So the whole thing about Bruno, the issue with his magic was it didn't help the family, quote unquote. So
Yeah.
like, your goldfish gonna die, the rain's gonna come on your wedding day. That
He said bad things. Bad things happen when he says things.
Exactly. He's the one at fault, not the fact that he sees what's gonna happen, right? So that's the issue with Bruno. Bruno saw some crazy shit, especially with the thing coming from Mirabelle. Mirabelle's gonna be the one that decides about the house and the family. She like it's hit or miss. There's no telling. Is she gonna break the house? Is she gonna restore the house? Who knows?
Yes,
But
the
Bruno
answer
a
is
real one,
yes.
But we don't talk about Bruno because he's bad news. So we ship him off. I don't know. He leaves his room, which is his tower. And apparently he's lost forever, except he's living in the fucking walls. And that sad ass moment where we find out
Painted
he's like,
himself a plate.
he's eating dinner behind the wall of the family tree with the family. And he's like, I love my family. It's like,
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
got me.
That's what I said. Like Bruno, the fact that Bruno
Yeah.
loves his family more than anyone, because he knew what will happen if people find out about the prophecy about Mirabelle. So he chose isolation over, making anyone else feel like how he felt and causing that family division. Because Abuela, just was kind of, wrong.
Bitch.
Oh,
I mean,
I'll say it.
I couldn't, but
I don't.
I know what
I'm
I know
too
what the
scared.
matriarchal type is like.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
yeah, I mean, like, you got to make hard choices sometimes. But, like,
175% respect,
yeah.
bitch.
Think definitely there is
Hey, she owned up to her part of it at the end. When she recognized.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, she's just pure evil. Oh, fuck, Abuela. No. She just was trying her best and made some questionable choices that hurt some people.
Yeah.
And when she recognized that, she was like, oh, shit. My bad.
Yeah. Whoops.
Can we start fixing this?
Yeah. Sorry. Got a little focus there. You
So,
know, you scared
all the
me
power
when
to
you
her
didn't
for
get any
that.
when you didn't get any powers. It scared the crap out of me. So, yeah.
Which that was kind of nice early on in the movie, where what's his bucket? The kid has a very real important name.
Antonio?
Antonio.
hmm
Yeah.
Antonio is like, it's his turn for magic. And it's like, okay, well, the last one didn't work. So, like, this one has to fucking work. Because the entire town is counting on us to be magical and support the community. Antonio has to be magical.
Yeah.
But, like, at the end, when Antonio was like, Mirabelle, you gotta help me get up there, man. I can't do it alone. Mirabelle, come on. You the one that's with me. Mirabelle, come on. And Mirabelle helps him up to the door, and it's like, yes, magic, hooray. Get off the fucking animals. Hell yeah, man. That was nice. Except for
My grandmother was like,
Except for leaving her out of the picture.
yeah.
Could you imagine if the Stronger, what's her name?
Louise?
Louise. If
Louisa.
Louise, when she got her power, like, you know how the toucan came down for Antonio? What if, like, a boulder just, like, fell from the ceiling, but she didn't get hurt, but everybody was, like, freaking out, like, but she, like, smashed it. I don't know.
I feel like her
that'd be
strength
funny.
was gradual.
Is that, like,
Gradual?
everybody?
Yeah.
Well, I meant, like, does that happen to everybody? Like,
I mean, I feel like their powers are gradual, I feel like when they're little, it doesn't start at 100, just like anything. Once you first get your powers, Flash couldn't run full speed, Superman couldn't fly through the sun. You got to build up those powers.
That's not what he's saying.
that's not what I'm saying. It's
He's
just-
saying, like, is there something that instantly proves what the power is?
yeah,
Like,
that's-
they
That's
didn't know what it
probably-
was until the toucan started talking to him. So what did Louise do? Did she
From
rip
what-
the door off the hinges and the house had to fix itself?
From what I can tell, it seemed like their powers were altruistic and intruistic as well. To like when we see with Isabella, like she had the urge to be perfect because of her floral power. So I felt like maybe Louisa had the urge to lift something. Like she said, she felt herself becoming weak. She
Yeah.
probably felt herself becoming strong and went to go probably either pick up a abuela or something that was like close to her. And also, when you open your door, it kind of reveals what it is. So it could have just been like a bunch of like
The room
stuff
kind of
in the way.
reflects it.
Yeah. I would like to believe her door was like super difficult to open or something, and then her strength allowed her to open it.
I think I saw something on one of the wikis that said her room would look like very plain to start with a hidden compartment with like an amusement park or a bunch of fun stuff inside of it. So
Yeah, yes. Home dude had a whole Sahara desert, and other home dude had like
Yeah.
a jungle, and homegirl had a
Home-
bunch of freaking flowers.
little kid had Tarzan's entire forest inside.
The speculation abounds.
Yeah, it really does. Like, what
We only see 3
guy?
rooms.
What does he do? He just have pictures of everybody in the family. But anyways,
Who? Yeah.
But,
Shapeshift, dude.
yeah,
the issue here
Milo?
with the plot,
Chameleon.
Mhm.
Sorry.
wow, mind blown.
I'm just like,
The issue here, it's the miracle is based on family cohesion.
I noticed
So
that was
the
that was very
moment
interesting.
the facade is broken, there are problems with the family. The magic begins to crack. The candle begins to flicker, and the house, the poor house, begins to break.
Which is Abuela's fault.
She's the cause of the
Perhaps.
like turmoil and everything, but it's
Literal
everybody
problem,
like
yeah.
just going along and not actually like communicating their issues that boils everything over. Which is why it's
Yeah.
kind of fitting that Mirabelle's song about being not okay, that she's the one who's different, is the one that brings like all the cracks to the surface initially. Because
Yeah.
before that, Bruno's just behind the walls patching them all up. No one saw him.
Yeah.
It wasn't Bruno.
So-
It was his alter ego, Buckethead Man, who was patching the walls.
Disrespectful.
No,
Disrespectful. Don't even remember Buckethead Man's name.
I don't. Do y'all?
He was an actor. It's all fucking Bruno. But
Just
how do y'all feel about Bruno and kind of the vibe with he's magical, he's run away, but he's like trying to help the family in any way he can. But with you know, Mirabelle chasing him through the like corridors, with her having him like look for another vision to like give her some kind of direction, and him finally rolling up being like, yo, grandma, fuck your shit. Mirabelle ain't do nothing wrong. Like, what's your
Hey,
vibe on Bruno?
Hey, yo, ma,
We
it ain't
don't-
her fault.
We don't talk about Bruno, clearly, but what's your vibe on Bruno who we don't talk about?
I
was the
can't
real
blame
one.
him for
Yeah.
anything he did.
Yeah,
Because
OG.
everybody was just like, oh, we have problems. It's Bruno's fault. These things he has no control over. It is his fault.
I mean, Bruno, like I said before, Bruno loved his family more than anyone because he was willing to sacrifice. Like, I don't feel like anybody else outside of Mirabelle would have sacrificed for their. Okay, not sacrifice isn't the right way, but like sacrifice that conclusion, that reputation, all that. You know, Louise, she put herself in mental anguish and then became anxiety to be the thing that protects her family. You know, Isabella was like, I got to be perfect. Dolores maybe didn't have as many issues as everybody else. Like
Like
the,
it's a big cast. We can't focus on everybody.
yeah,
Yeah.
the cousins really didn't have that many issues besides like, you know, her just wanting love that she could never have. But
They're all cousins, but yes. I mean,
Well,
Dolores didn't have...
Mirabelle's cousins.
Yes.
There you go.
They're all Mirabelle cousins. But definitely...
No, two of them
I-
are her sisters.
Oh my god.
There's 2 sisters and 3 cousins.
Oh,
The 3 cousins didn't have
Bruno doesn't
all right,
have any
I'm
kids
gonna take
in
your
the
word
house.
on it. I don't know, Chief.
It's
I'm gonna take your word on it. But definitely.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. It kind of sucked that like the pressure was put on. You kind of see the pressure and kind of see that Mirabelle didn't recognize the strain and effort put on those with powers to be as perfect and gorgeous and beautiful and expertivisy words here
Words.
as possible, you know, like be the strongest, be the most beautiful, continue that for eternity. Definitely. So that, you know, as that magic went with Bruno, where he was like, "You must embrace your sister," and then like she goes to do it, and it's all like, "Fuck you! You ruined my engagement that I was only doing because Grandma wanted it." It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
that was.
you
like,
ruined my
ooh.
arranged marriage that I wasn't even about.
oh.
Yeah, I was like, okay, all right, we
And-
doing
and-
this.
Everything turns around, and it's a song about her learning her own skills and, you know, being excited for adventure and
It's basically let it go.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like,
But-
oh, I don't have to be perfect. So awesome. Here's a cactus.
more fun. It was about cactuses, you know.
And she wore black and made paint bombs.
Drink cactus juice. It'll quench you.
It's the quenchiest.
Secret tunnel
Yes.
Lord have
through
mercy.
the mountain.
Is that bad?
But no,
That was actually the
I
first
think
thing
next
I
to
saw
Surface
when I saw the
Pressure,
cactus.
that one is my favorite song, though.
But Surface Pressure, though, the song about the fact that the pressure looming over top of Louisa, that, you know, is the strongest, but she's like, I cannot not be the strongest. And then we see her not be the strongest. Man.
Just
what a
falls
song.
apart. Just it's
I
so
agree.
sad. I
Like-
felt so bad. I was like, no, oh no, she can't move the piano. But
Like
Um,
that's some really good lyrics. She's like, I wonder, was Hercules ever like, yo, I don't want to fight Cerberus? I was like, shit.
Yeah.
Like
did
I was
did-
like, yo, okay.
did the hero
okay.
ever ask for this?
Yeah, I'm just like, that's
Well,
real.
Hercules
you know?
literally asked for it, but yeah, that's beside the
Yeah,
point.
yeah, well, you know.
I mean, yeah, but like, we knew what she meant, Mister.
Yeah, no.
I was gonna say, the point I brought up before the podcast I wanted to make was, in the Hispanic culture. I'm just saying, in the Hispanic culture, the house, the casa, right, is like a
Casita.
pivotal- yeah, casita, is a point of like family, like your house, your family. They're like it's tied together.
Every home is a castle. Yes, we
Yeah,
get.
you know. So I like it was pretty cool that whenever like, you know, Mirabelle was feeling some kind of like, you know, some type of way, like with her song, the house starts to fall apart. I'm wondering if like that's like her gift is like the family and the house, and it's all representative of, you know, whatnot. I liked that theme. That was pretty cool.
That's what a lot of people were saying,
Mhm.
but
It. Yeah.
we were this close to that topic.
Let's talk about that. Does
Shotgun.
Mirabelle get a gift? Does she get
I-
fucking magic?
I want to say
Go ahead.
that I feel like Mirabelle had the magic the whole time. But also I feel like she didn't. I feel like it was very left up to, you know, how you felt. Some people could say Pedro didn't let her get magic so Abuela wouldn't feel alone. And then some people could say mending the family was her magic.
That part I can kind of give you.
You didn't get the first part?
No, I don't understand that other one.
I
Because
could sort of
Pedro was the blood magic that gave the family the miracle.
the blood
Not
butterfly.
confirmed.
Not
but I feel
factual.
it.
Sorry, per Kelz. Per Kelz 40 minutes ago. that-
Candle was just like, no.
All I'm
Hey,
saying is they go back to the same river to bring the magic back. That's the,
And,
blood.
and a
River
butterfly
Kings,
shows
bro.
up, you know. Butterfly shows up, and
Yeah.
blood butterfly.
I honestly,
But what I was saying was that, like, I feel like the power, because I felt like that's also what kind of said that, like, when Amila is kind of talking, Abuela is talking about, you know, what's going on, and how she, you know, like in the forest and everything before Bruno shows up, she's like, you know, I did this, I made the family, like, you know, this is because of me. And, you know, maybe she felt alone, and whatever the power was like, you need someone who you can, like, you know, have something in common with, a non-powerful person, so you can, like, kind of see this, and she just didn't handle it the right way. So I feel like that could have been a thing. But also she could have house castle powers, like, you know, Henry from Black Clover. That could be her. She could be Henry from Black Clover.
She when she
that
put
the
the
house
doorknob
has
in.
a mind of its own.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
If it didn't, it wouldn't have been saving the other two who tried to go for the candle.
What if the house is Abuelo?
I swear to God, if the house turns into a giant fucking robot, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna
It'll
lose
be
my
like
mind.
fairy tale.
Encanto
every-
2.
everything
All right,
must
Black
be anime.
Bulls.
But no, I honestly think Mirabelle's just being set up to be the next Abuela. She's gonna take her position and like be the keeper of the candle and the magic, instead of just they need to be the ones constantly like keeping the thing keeping the family together and keeping everything going.
I
Guardian
can
of
see
the
that.
Candle has no
Yeah.
power.
Yeah, she's the next one for it to pass on to.
Yeah.
see
Shout
that.
out! I love Pixar movies. I love Disney movies like this that don't have a villain. I find my favorite ones are like the Moanas, like the Souls, where there's no villain.
Way better than the ones that have the fake out.
Are you getting swatted?
No,
Strange. Do we need to call the
freaking-
police?
This person's
already over
truck
there.
outside my window. I am so sorry for audio only people. Holy crap. That scared the crap out of me. I was like, oh, that's so loud. Let me go check though.
Okay, I was about to say, man, I can have
You
somebody there
good?
in 20 minutes. Not a reliable person, but
it
someone will
definitely
be there.
picks it up. It definitely picks it up.
I mean, after you croaked, we can have somebody on, yo.
We got
I mean,
reserves.
Oh my god.
My take is like she definitely did not get magic.
No.
Like they made that handle for her,
Mm-hmm.
but like it wasn't a magical door. She made that miracle happen. So she definitely in the vibe with Abuela. Like she definitely not magical. The house is like got its own life, but like definitely can't do cool shit other than like bring the team together. You know, you wouldn't have the A team without whoever the fuck the A team runs.
She's
thing-
the Scarlet Witch of the Avengers.
What
Exactly.
if
No.
I'm
don't
just
die.
saying, so like
Not
if we
quite.
could imagine a different scenario where Mirabelle actually had abilities, would she be able
No.
to bring people together as well as she did?
No.
Okay.
No.
All
No.
I mean, she has that, like, Red Dawn Wolverine's vibe. Like she was down the trenches. Like she was, like she wanted to fight for something. She was oppressed. That way, she could be impressed to save everybody else.
Marie.
Yes.
But definitely, she died with a grenade underneath her.
Yeah.
To like keep the Wolverines going.
And-
Like in a world where she has powers, that's not this film. I don't think.
Yeah.
That's
My-
Encanto.
My personal opinion, Encanto, like it is fine that she doesn't have power. She doesn't have to she doesn't need to have to gain like gifts.
And
Part
that's
of her gift is like the passion of family, the power of friendship. That bullshit. But it
I
works.
still feel
It
that
works.
she didn't have powers.
So did she, man. But like not anymore. Now that she solved the family's problem.
But she's part of the Amazing Madrigals. The whole song about it.
But she's not in it.
She is. She's in the family.
In the
She's
final
not in the
photo-
song.
In the final photo, they start singing that song.
Mm.
And then
But
the
then
house
gets her
fucks up
part.
the photo, but she's in the middle of it.
That's how you know it's an actual family album. It got fucked up.
Yeah. But
Also
May
a
have got to
jaguar.
her
That's how
verse.
you know.
a jaguar?
A jaguar in the photo. That's how you know it's a real family
Yeah.
picture.
But
He can talk to animals. I'd have them all over the place if I was him.
So yeah, okay. I'll give you all that about Mirabelle. She was still a great character though. She's not quite Moana for me, but she's a fun
no.
character
So
Like-
why is Mary Jane the best girl of fairy tale?
because she's freaking listen, man. That's mad spoilers for you.
Oh no!
Anyways, we'll
Like-
get to it. We'll get to it.
We'll
I
get
see
to it,
some
yeah.
stuff on the wiki, but
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
It's no wiki.
We've
Stop reading.
touched on the music of Encanto, but of course it's a Disney film. We gotta have musical numbers. Let's talk about one, the number one best song, and two, like the entire vibe. All right, tell me about Under Pressure. I mean, Surface Pressure.
Surface
Drip,
pressure
drip, drip. That'll never stop.
is actually the second most popular song.
Pressure that'll tip, 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 tip to your
And
pop.
It's pretty good. I saw it had like
Grip,
30,
grip, grip,
56
grip,
million
grip, and it won't
views
let go.
on YouTube
Yeah.
since like
It's-
December.
Tick, 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 ready to blow.
the
God
number
damn
one
it,
song?
Static.
Number
the
one
number
song
one
is
song?
We Don't Talk About Bruno. That's the very number one song.
That one,
It's catchy.
honestly,
it is an earwig. and it
it's
gets in
catchy,
you.
yeah, but the only reason I'll give it, I'll put it above Surface Pressure is because
The
to
visuals.
have that many people singing the song, have it flow so well with all those different styles.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive. I'm sure we don't talk about Bruno's gonna win some awards or whatnot.
Oh,
just
I hope it does.
because how technically impressive that shit is.
I mean, I love that. I am one of the weird ones who like, what else can I do? Like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. Surface
it's good.
Pressure is still best song. But like, what else can I do was an unexpected banger. I was like, yo. Like,
A lot of the songs are really good.
I mean,
all
I
the
still
songs
prefer
are really
You from Belle, but you know.
That one's also fresh in your mind right now, so
Different
That one's also
fucking
a
show,
Um but yeah, no, like what else can I do was really good. I liked how it talked about like I liked how it made me care about Isabella because I didn't before that. I was like, yeah. As long as
Yeah.
it's straight.
Same. I was like,
So
I
it like
Isabella.
it served its purpose really well, and it was beautiful. Like that song, I really liked. All the songs were great, like choreography wise, like videography wise too. Like I feel like you just listening to these songs isn't enough. You need to watch some music videos. And I think Disney put out a music video for each song on their
They did.
Vivo,
Vivo.
whatever
Yep.
they call it. Yeah,
Vivo.
Vivo.
Bellissimo. Yeah.
Take 2 seconds to listen
But-
to Vivo.
That's part of the reason I really like Surface Pressure.
Yes.
Is because when you actually get to see her dancing and everything, I'm more than sure they just mocapped a professional and just threw it in there.
And just the donkeys as well. They joined in the song, like joined
Yeah.
in as like they were backup dancers.
Man, I saw
Really?
this meme that was like first time you watching Encanto and it was playing this song. It's like second time you watching Encanto, they were on a couch in a blanket but like moving their arms. And it's like 15th time you watching Encanto, they were whole ass doing the
Doing the
surface
dance.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I loved it.
Oh man.
I loved it. It was like, I will say though, like Encanto did have like the songs, man. Like it had the catchy tunes, like for a while. Like you had like, I wonder which one's gonna be the "You're Welcome" that I'm gonna hear 1,000 times. Like,
Probably
we
we
don't
don't,
talk
talk
about
about
Bruno.
Bruno. That's the most popular
Yeah.
one. You're probably
I
gonna
mean,
get sick of
although-
it, but
What do you expect from the same guy who wrote Hamilton?
yes, and the Moana soundtrack. Lin-Manuel Mirabelle is
I
a
think
beast.
that guy voiced Bruno.
No, he didn't.
Somebody did. Or he
You're
wrote
right,
a song.
somebody
The
did.
guy who
Yes.
voiced Bruno wrote a song in there, something like that.
The guy who
All
voiced
right,
Bruno.
we gotta fucking look. We have to verify these things.
Yes, because Strange says things without any backing.
I do say things. That's the internet, though. You just say things without any backing.
But you're not on the internet.
We are on
We're
the
not
internet.
propagandists.
They really not have his actor listed on
It's-
this
it's
list.
No, they do.
down, Scroll down.
No, it's there.
It's John Lee.
That was the first one.
Leguizamo.
Oh yeah, you should know who this is.
I know who it
You
is.
should. He was
Yeah, he was
Luigi
freaking-
and Mario Bros.
He was
That's what he should be.
Yeah, that's
he
what
was
we
also-
remember for.
he was also in what movie was he? He was in something else. He was in The Babysitters. That's what it was. Like
All right. Fuck whatever he was talking about.
I don't know.
The Mandalorian. That's what he was in. He was in The Mandalorian.
Yes, he
Yes.
was. Yes,
I
he
was trying to
was.
be like, what other thing was he in?
All right. Final thoughts. Encanto. How do y'all feel about it?
It was good. I really enjoyed it. I feel
Yeah.
like this would be one that I love the misdirection of Bruno. Like I love how I thought he was gonna be a villain or evil, but then he was like, "Yo, I really just love my family more than anybody else." I love
Yeah.
that we didn't have any like painful moments of like a grandma or a family member dying in this, besides the one that was already dead. So, shout out to them for not making me relive past traumas.
No, that was-
You sure about that? There's a whole song about
Yeah,
her
there's
reliving
songs.
past trauma.
No, those are current
Corazon
traumas.
No,
they're
What was it? What was the song called? It was the one right before Bruno showed up at the riverfront, where Abuela is having that flashback.
That
Oh, yeah, that one?
ooh
Yeah.
Yeah, that song is
ooh.
all about her reliving her past trauma.
that
Not my past
song
traumas.
was whew, man, just and it was all in Spanish too. So I like that. That was a whew.
Yeah, yeah, it was vibe.
Yeah, I'm like
So,
a
but yeah,
bullet
no,
into
I
it.
I really mess with Encanto. Happily surprised. Kind of wish I would have saw it in theaters because when it came out, I was like, this is something I can just watch on Disney Plus. But I'm like, I should have saw it in
Gonna be
theaters.
honest with you, you don't need to see this in theaters. It adds nothing to it. You are just as well off just watching it at home on your TV.
Cool.
I will take the professional's word for it.
Yeah.
How's he a professional?
He
Because I
works
work at a movie theater and
He
see this shit all
fucking
the
works
time.
at a movie theater, man. Like,
I mean,
I don't know.
okay, I guess I'll give you that one.
He gets paid for this shit. He's seen this shit in theaters. Like, I don't know.
That's
You
fine.
tell me.
That's fine. I don't know, man.
We gonna
Just
get you
here.
out of that movie theater, bro.
Yeah.
One day.
I can get you
But
to
not
the
until you
truck.
like pay dividends. But anyway,
Use blood magic.
Encanto. It was a fun time. It was a great family story. Nothing tragic happened.
Thankfully.
I
mean,
it was comparative to everything else we fucking watched. Nobody croaked.
Shout out
Nobody
everybody
croaked that we've seen on screen that makes a difference.
True.
Other than Abuelo. But Abuelo's been dead for a while, and it's the cosmic magic. Anyway.
It'll be fine, yeah.
Definitely, if you got Disney Plus, don't go out of your way to get it. But if you got it, watch Encanto if you already haven't. But of course, general vibe, positive film, great story, wonderful music, worth the time. What the hour and 30 minutes invested in Encanto. Of course, we're wrapping the show. You can catch all your podcatchers on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Podcast, at Content Breaker, or on Twitter, Instagram as well, at Content Breaker 2. Gentlemen, y'all have stuff as well.
Yes, you can find me at Thagdrez with a Z on the Twitter, where you will be seeing tweets and posts and things like that. Watch Belle. It was freaking amazing. Go to our YouTube and subscribe and watch our videos. They're videos. Kelz,
They are
strange.
videos.
Strange.
You can find me on the YouTubes, strangely entertaining, and just confirm that it is me that you're looking for because YouTube hates me. And then I'm
I
also
hate you.
on Twitter at strangelyint, and you can go to twitch.tv/strangely entertaining, where I do stream at 7 p.m. Central Time, Tuesdays or Thursdays.
And Thursdays, excuse me. And Thursdays.
Not and,
And
or.
what else you doing? And
So
or.
if I miss one, I got
And
him.
or Thursday.
and
Nah.
shut
Only
up.
one night a week. I had it fine. Anyways.
And
Whatever.
Thursdays.
Whatever.
Dog, what are we doing?
We
Can't-
going for something as grounded on Earth as to something incredibly out there as just space. We're talking about Eden Zero next week.
Forgot about that. I'm excited. I
man.
read the calendar, yeah.
67 seconds of other plugs. Catch your other products at your typical Shonen protagonist. Your typical Shonen protagonist on all your podcatchers too. On Twitter at yours TSP. We'll catch y'all next week for Eden Zero.
Adios.